In this video, we're going to be using Vanille Vendetta from the Shaving Shop Club and the IBC Shavette razor. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you. And as mentioned before, today we're going to be using Vanille Vendetta from the Shaving Shop Club. That is Sneaky Pete or Ariana and Evans. And this has a very interesting vanilla scent. From my perspective, it is a spicy vanilla. It's not really like anything Pete's ever done in the realm of vanilla. I do think it's nice. It's got some spice in there, some juniper, amber, wood, and vanilla. Don't think super sweet vanilla. This one is quite different and it's quite nice. Let's put the notes for you right there so you can see what those are. This is in the Kaizen 2 formula, which is often heralded as one of the best, if not the best soap base on the market. To me, soap bases are not all that important. Everything's pretty good now, but this is a legitimately good soap base for sure. We'll show you the ingredients right there, which has all the great stuff in, all the dragon tallow, the chupacabra oil. It's got all the great ingredients. And the price on this is, it comes in the club, if you're a member of the club, at less than $5 an ounce, which is a fair price. And I really enjoy using A&E and the club soaps. They're very good. The only thing I would say is this label's kind of funny. I don't know if you can see that right there, but it's like the label was cut off here and here. So a little wonky on the label there. I don't know what happened there, but you know, sometimes those things happen. But ideally, we'd like to have a label that's, you know, perfectly round. But I'm being picky there. I'm being picky because, you know, I want the best for Pete. And when I find something, you know, I air it. Anyway, let's get into it today. I'm going to go ahead and wet the face here. 24 hours growth. We're going to be using, I forgot to mention the razor, the IBC Shavette, and that is loaded with a feather professional blade. And we'll talk more about this Shavette as time goes on. This is the first time I've used this just because my straight razor edges, I've been trying a lot of them and honing. And today I just said, I'm going to use this. I've had it for like a month. I've never used it, and I'm going to use it. The appealing part of this particular Shavette is it takes many different types of blades, half DE blades, injector blades, or the Artist Club style blades. So that's pretty cool. And this one is Cerakoted, all black. I like that. And I got this at the Razor Company for $74.95. So there you have that. Now let's get into it. I'm going to mist the face. It's just plain water. And today, I don't need it whatsoever, but I'm going to apply a little bit of pre-shave because I'm trying to use this cube up, and it's proving, as I've mentioned before, difficult to kill. I certainly don't need it with the A&E soap because it's, you know, great quality. Everybody knows that at this point. I don't think there's disagreement on the quality of A&E soaps in terms of whether they're good or not. I think everybody pretty much agrees they're very good quality soap. And as I said before, most of the soaps that you've heard of or see on YouTube or on Instagram and Shave of the Days or in written articles, if you're seeing them a lot, chances are they're pretty doggone good. And of course, I would consider A&E to be a leader in the artisanal space in terms of making high quality soap. It makes a lot of sense that I enjoy as well. So that's always good. But, you know, the label, a little wonky there. We got to call it like we see it. Let's mist again and we'll get going. Using the A&E brush today, which I really like. This is synthetic. And we've got our lather whipped up in a bowl. It is nice and creamy, and you would expect no less from an A&E soap. The lather that you can generate with A&E is really nice. You can develop volume, and it's creamy. And so it's a lot like, I always talk about Shannon's being able to easily develop the type of lather that I want. And Pete's soaps are the same way, regardless of formula. Even his older formulas, I thought you were able to make a good creamy lather with pretty easy. And as you can see there, nice and creamy, no problems, no bubbles, no troubles. And that's what we want, just a good creamy lather, and it smells very nice too. This is a very different vanilla. I think Pete is one of the best artisans at vanilla. And David, So Sharp David mentioned this yesterday to me too. In making sweet scents generally, I think Pete is one of the best at that. He really does great with vanilla, tobacco, and sweeter scents. Now, When he brings out the cannabis scents and stuff like that, I'm not much for that. But when he's doing vanilla and sweeter stuff or cologne-like stuff, I tend to enjoy it. All right, we've got that cut back. Let's get started because we don't want the video to be an hour long here. Dry off the hands, which is really, really important when you're using a Shavette or straight razor in particular. And it's been a while since I've used one of these, so hopefully I do a good job with it. Very nice and smooth, as I would expect from a Shavette. The Feather Professional blade I really like a lot. It is my preferred Artist Club style blade. Very nice. And what I would say about the IBC Shavette here is the blade doesn't stick way out of the razor. So it's sort of captured in there a little bit. I guess you could say it feels kind of, now don't get me wrong, you need to use care, but I guess you would say it feels non-threatening because the blade's sort of sunk in there a little bit. So there's not a ton of it out, but the edge that is out is sharp. So always be mindful of that. And try to keep that angle shallow and don't come in too steep or hot. But that's very nice indeed. And of course I expected the blade to be good because it's a feather blade. I can't recall how many uses I have on this particular one, but so far I'm enjoying it. And as you see the sheen on that lather there, that's characteristic of Pete's soaps. They take water very well. And again, that's good quality soaps will do that. They'll take a fair amount of water because the key to slickness in soap is getting water in the mix. And so soaps that take a lot of water will typically give you a nice, slick platform, a little bit easier than soaps that are more finicky about how much water they take. Now, that's just my opinion. Now I'm putting more soap on my nose there. By the way, did you all catch the spotlight with Shannon's on Real Talk? If you have not, I'll pop it up in one of the corners and I'll put it below in the comments or in the description. Always look below because links for these products will be in there, the ones that are available. And again, this particular soap offering is out of the Shaving Shop Club. Peter's Club, that's why it's club branded. And I think it's a nice soap. Very nice indeed. So that was a great first pass. No quality problems with the soap, which if I had a quality problem with an A&E soap at this point, I would be very surprised. They're unquestionably great in terms of quality. They just get the job done, lather easily. They're well priced for what they are. They are it's just a really good soap. And most of them, I tend to like their scents as well. But they really generate an enjoyable lather. Now, sometimes people will say, is X soap better than Y? And I really can't answer that for you because what you want out of a soap might be different for me. For me, I'm not considering post at all, as I always say. So any attribution to post stuff is not important to me at all. And I would never spend a dime extra for it because I use 3 post-shave products that all have astringents that are likely to strip away whatever good the soap might be doing in terms of moisturizing and so on. So I don't consider that at all, and I don't want to pay for it, quite frankly. Like, if you're going to charge me extra to put skin food in there that's likely to be stripped by my post-shave stuff, I don't want that. I would just rather it be basic, you know. But that's just me. Some people, their face actually can dry out during the shave. Now, I'm not in that use case, so always consider your use case when you're evaluating things and what you're looking for. And for me, what I'm looking for in this soap is slickness and a great scent. And those things are paramount for me. Also, I want it to be well priced. It's nice if it has an attractive label, but that is not mandatory for me. If you're going to charge me more to have an attractive label, I'd rather not have it. I just want a container that's durable and holds up. And I just want the soap to perform well, or most importantly, to allow me to perform well. That's what's most important to me. All right, let's get into pass number 2. And again, remember, come at your face or neck or whatever area you're shaving with a more flat angle. And then if you need to rotate it out, you can. But if you come in too steep, you will create a memory line. I've done it many times. Just being careless, so just always be careful. These blades are sharp. They require care. And this is a nice shavette. I'm really enjoying it. It's doing a great job. And the blades always hit the spot for me, the feather blades. So regardless of whether they're the DEs or the Artist Club, I always appreciate them. Now this shavette, the one thing it's missing, and I'm guessing it's because it captures that blade and sinks it so deep, is there's not much feedback, and I miss that, especially from using my straights, because there's a great deal of feedback on the straight razors, and so I'm missing that feedback. You get a lot of feedback, for example, with the WEC, so I like that, and I think I get more from the feather too. This one, there's not much feedback, and I kind of enjoy that feedback, if I'm being honest. If you're worried about that screw right there, it doesn't get in the way, so don't let that be a concern. Now it is loose, so be careful if you're going to disassemble the razor. It could fall in your sink or something like that and go down the drain. You can order replacement ones if you like. They are not inexpensive. They're like $10, and I was like, $10 for a screw? Or, you know, what? A little expensive, but if you did happen to lose it, you can replace it. So that's the main thing. Very nice. This is definitely a nice shavette. I wish it offered that feedback that the some of the others do. I do hear it a little bit, but it's not nearly as loud as say the WEC, for example, where it's just all blade kind of hanging out there. And I need to use that again at some point. But I've really been enjoying honing and using those razors. Very nice. This is definitely a nice shavette though. It's feeling good. I think this would be good for a beginner, this shavette. Because again, that blade is sunk down there pretty good. It's not hanging out like the WEC. And it, you know, it's kind of rounded there. I think this is a nice shavette. It's a little pricey, but the feather shavettes are pretty pricey too, so it's kind of competitive with that. And this one does have the advantage of you being able to use multiple types of blades. It has a magnet in there, and you unscrew it. And we'll talk about this shavette in more detail in coming weeks and months. But it's nice. I'm happy with it, and it's got some good weight. I don't know if I mentioned that before. This one is not as light as some of the other ones, so it feels more like a straight razor in terms of weight, unless you're used to using those big, enormous cleaver straight razors. Of course, nothing's going to match the heft of those, but like your normal 6/8, 5/8 razors, this particular shavette has weight that's comparable. It's not quite as heavy as, say, a Gold Dollar, but it at least has heft enough to where you feel like, you know, you got a razor there. It's not crazy light. So if you like a little bit of heft, this one has it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the Sneaky Pete soaps are legit. He gets a lot of praise for a reason. I mean, he makes a fine product, and that's really all there is to it. And you know, we've talked about shipping, and I will say, my last few orders have been going out pretty fast. So I think they've definitely made some improvements there. Now, when I say that, I'm sure people are going to comment below and go, I waited 6 weeks for my order. I can only speak from my perspective. I've seen some improvement on the shipping, and so that's a good thing. But those improvements often, you know, take time. And so we were just discussing this shipping thing the other day, And, I said, maybe I've been hard on Pete about shipping because I have some other artisans that take upwards of a week or longer sometimes also. And you never hear anybody complaining about it. But when it comes to Pete, people tend to complain about it. I don't know why that is. We tend to give other people a pass and we don't give Pete a break sometimes. And I think maybe it's because we know Pete better than some. I don't know. And so it's kind of like you might ignore something that another child does, but you would dress your own, you would speak to your own child about something and go, hey, and that might be what it is. We're just more close to Pete, maybe. I don't know. But I do know that some other artisans take just as long and we just don't say anything. I guess because we're used to it, maybe. And I think what happened in the case of Pete was sometimes they were going out pretty quick and sometimes they were not. And so whatever it is, if it's consistent, you know what to expect. I think that's always for the best, just from my perspective. Let's get that right there. Tell you what, this is a very nice soap. If you like the idea of spicy vanilla, this one might be for you. Now, my favorite sort of vanilla-ish scent from Pete is Signature. It's fantastic. But I do think he's one of the better artisans at working with vanilla and sweeter scents in general. He's definitely one of the leaders in that style of scenting. Very nice. Yeah, this Shavette here is, I'm calling it Shavette type razor, because Shavette actually is a term that belongs to Dogo. Their razors like this are Shavettes. Everything else is Shavette-like, but this is definitely a nice one. This is Irving Barber Company, or it's commonly referred to as IBC. And again, it's got some good heft. The build quality on it is quite good. And I think it's a pretty enjoyable Shavette to use. I've had a nice smooth shave with it today. And the soap, everything just worked well today. And again, I will remind you all, if you didn't see that spotlight on Real Talk with Shannon's soaps, Brian and Shannon soaps, I think it's worth watching. I think you'll find those are two very, very good people. And how many artisans just like, well, what do you guys want? You guys tell us. They're just regular folks that happen to make soaps, and they're very, very nice, and they don't really have big attitudes or egos. They're just there to please. They're legitimately grateful for your business, and I think everybody can appreciate that. So give that a watch. All right, excellent shave. Let me rinse, and then we'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back off cam. We did a warm water rinse. We followed that with a little conversation with the alum. No stinging. It didn't have much to say, so that was great. Followed that with the cold water rinse. Then applied the Thayer's Witch Hazel Cucumber Magic, because it's made by witches. Great stuff. Today, it was a very, very nice shave. We used the Vanille Vendetta from the Shaving Shop Club. If the idea of a spicy vanilla appeals to you, check this one out. Very good quality. I really enjoyed it. We used the IBC Shavette for the first time with Feather Professional Blade. I enjoyed that as well. Very, very nice Shavette that's versatile, takes a lot of blades. I enjoyed that very much. We used our Oyan and Evans brush, which I love. It is amazing, our Captain's Choice bowl. And we're going to finish it out today with the Shaving Shop Club Signature, this is a phenomenal scent. I really, really love this one. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I really appreciate you. And that's not lip service. I appreciate you coming back every day and checking out these videos with me. I appreciate your comments. And just generally, I hope you have a great day, great shaves. Thanks so much for joining us as always. I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way. And as always, God bless.